Hi everybody. Today we are in Croton on the Hudson at Croton Harmon train station. We just dropped our boat at the Echo Canoe launch and we are parked in the required parking spot. I paid my parking fee and I have my receipt in the window. I'm one of 3 cars in the parking lot. That's where we're going to be paddling over there. It's a beautiful natural area. It's the Croton River. The kayak launch is dead ahead. So if you're a resident of Croton on the Hudson and you have a permit, you can park here in this parking lot for free. I don't know what you have to do to rent the kayaks. I guess they're open on the weekends. They may have rental spots to keep your boat here. That would make sense. Matter of fact, there's a sign right there. Let's go see what it says. All right, looks like we have another list of no's here at the Echo Canoe launch. The hours are 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and the following is prohibited: pets, alcohol consumption, disruptive behavior, loud music, littering, grills or open flames, use of watercraft without life preservers, smoking and vaping. There you have it, kids. At least they didn't put on there having fun. Got a nice little spot to sit here and soak up a little bit of nature. That's real pretty. We're going to be going underneath that bridge. That's the Croton River. We're camping on the other side of the train station at Croton Point Park at their campground. Let's see, we've got some more signs here to read. Yeah, that's real important. You gotta clean your boat. You don't want to be spreading anything around. Lots of invasive species being propagated in these waters. Here's something to read. During his youth in New York City, Theodore J. Cornu, 1885 to 1986, rescued a damaged canoe from wreckage with the hardware shop. Here comes a train. That's commuter rail coming out of the city empty. You guys are missing your train, man. The train tracks the other way, eh? Crazy Canada geese. Alright, well, take a still of that and you can read it for yourself. Okay, the boat is all ready to go. Now, if you wanted to go out into the Hudson River, you'd have to go underneath that train bridge, which looks pretty frightening to me. And you could only do it at low tide, which it is now. And if you were to go out there and come back in 6 hours, you would be out of luck. You'd have to wait till the next low tide to come in here. So we're not going out there. We're going up the Croton River. We're off. We're floating up the Croton River right now. We're actually going to be going in with the tide a little bit, so we may have to paddle out against it. But it should make for a nice paddle in. It's hot and humid. I got my PFD on and it's not helping, but it's required, so we're going to wear it. That's Route 9, Route 9A. If you go to the right on that road, it'll bring you into Sleepy Hollow to the south. Never a really big fan of going under bridges in a kayak. You never know what people throw in this water. Well, we just came across that body of water, and this is the Croton River. I'm kind of floating in with the tide. I'm not having to paddle too much, which means I'll be paying for that later. Right over here, there's a big structure made of concrete. It looks like a bridge embankment, more than likely. Probably before they built that big bridge. There's some beautiful birds flying around here. I hope they fly by me. Well, we've been paddling for about 15 minutes, and I'm finding the farther I get away from the launch ramp, the quieter it's getting and the more natural sounds that I can hear. We're not that far away. I can still hear the cars and the trains and the planes, but I can also hear the birds and the cicadas and all the other beautiful sounds of a late summer afternoon. The trees aren't quite yet changing color, although there are more and more light greens and yellows than there were a few days ago. We've been having our first few chilly nights of autumn. Always seems to come in with the tropical storms, and it finishes off our summer here. But I got a nice break in between storms. There's one that just hit the Gulf Coast that should be here in a couple of days. So I'm just going to enjoy the beautiful weather. It is a bit tropical and hot, but it is to be expected for early September. We got a bit of a log jam here. No wake. It's a big tree fell. Doesn't look like it was recently though. Get out of here before I get caught in this mess. That's the bank of the Croton River. We're still heading upriver. Finally catching a little bit of a breeze. It was pretty hot there for a while down by the train station, but it's getting better as I get upriver. Oh, that feels so good. Whew. You don't know how to dress this time of year. It could be 50 degrees, it could be 80 degrees, it could be raining, it could be super hot. Today I think I got it just right. I've got my water wicking clothes on, so if I do get wet I'll dry quickly. I'm really liking my new sneakers from the Ukraine. They were a good deal and they are holding up well. They got so much ventilation in them, it's kind of like wearing flip-flops. I'm not sure what kind of bird that was, but it was pretty. There's a bit of an island ahead. We can go to the right, looks like the main channel, and to the left looks like the slower channel. We'll save that for the way back. We'll stick to the main channel. There's a bit of autumn color. This is absolutely beautiful. Now, if I remember my maps, that island is called Paradise. It's got some big trees. After I finish exploring what's up this river, I'll stop here and have a look at it. Just saw a blue heron take off from the riverbank. I'm looking forward to the downhill part of this journey because I won't be having to paddle so much. I'll be able to kind of not sneak up on things, but not startle them either. Okay, let's go see what's around that next bend. Well, that's as far as I can paddle against that current now. I read about this. I can get out and walk my canoe up, but I think that's far enough for me. I've been paddling for about 40 minutes. So we're going to look for a place along on Paradise Island here where we can take a break. Maybe make a cup of tea. Let me get myself straightened out here. Well, I think the current's doing it for me. Just cruising along the banks looking for a decent place to put in. I don't want to be bushwhacking. Got to be someplace where people have been getting off and hanging out. This looks like a decent little spot. It's out of the current. There's some room on the beach and there's some places up there. Looks like we walk into the forest. Alright, we're going to put it right up on those rocks right in front of me. Okay. We're back on land. Let's go have a look around, see what's on Paradise Island and the Croton River. If it is Paradise Island. I see a tree that's ready to fall. We're going to have to be careful in Paradise. Alright. Let's go have a look and see what's in this little forest here. Deep in the forests of Westchester County. Well, an island it is. Yeah, that tree is just a hanging there. Let's hope it doesn't get the inclination to fall down right now. There's some big trees here. You don't see them this big every day. Look at the size of this thing. Pretty darn big. No shortage of firewood in here. We got a nice shady spot here. Another journey, another cup of tea, my usual alcohol stove, titanium cook pot, my titanium double-walled coffee mug, letting the water boil. We're just hanging about on an island called Paradise, located on the Croton River in Westchester County, New York. We're just taking a nice lazy day of paddling. It's one of the final days of summer 2021. Getting in a few more paddles. This was a beautiful one. Glad I made the trip. I don't really have a big lunch. I'm just going to make a cup of tea and I've got a cereal bar to crunch down on. And then we're going to get back on the boat. Thank you for coming along and keeping me company on the Croton River. Today we are kayaking in Westchester County. Alright. Cheers, everybody. I've just about had enough sitting down. So we're going to leave no trace here. Make sure I pick up all my mess. It's too pretty of a place to destroy. This is Paradise Island County Park. It's a Westchester County park. Alright, we're going to pack up and take off out of here now. Start paddling again. It was a nice visit to Paradise. I'll have to come back someday. Well, I'm glad that I pulled it in a little bit before I went to go make my cup of tea so it wouldn't float away, because that water's coming in fast. Looks like I'm going to get my feet wet to retrieve my boat. Okay, we're back in the boat. I did get my feet a little bit wet, but not too bad. When I got here, this was all sandbar, high and dry. We'll try to keep it quiet, see what kind of natural things we can see. We're going to give another try at paddling up these shallows. Now that the tide is in a little bit more. Looks like we made it. Amazing what a little bit of time can do. Time and tide. That was a blue heron. That was beautiful. Big one. Speaking of big, look at that house up on the rock up there. Now, I've seen videos of this structure. People have climbed up those cliffs and they jump off into the water. It used to be a public building of some sort, a restaurant or a bar, but now it's owned privately. And the stone formations along the bank of the river are just amazing. There's some white water up ahead, so I think that's going to be the end of the line for us. Okay, up on the hill I'm seeing a state land marker, which means you can camp up there. There's some real old stone structures here. It is a unique area. I'm just curious to see those signs up there, but I don't feel like getting out of the boat again. Ooh, there's a sign on the tree right here. Maybe I can read it from there. Tree there, it's basically telling us that this is the Croton Gorge. It's a unique area on state land, and it is temporarily closed. I don't care why. It is. So I guess I'm not allowed to go up there. Far be it from me to break state law. Let's go check out the rapids. We're about to get into the current. Where I left off, I'd be down that river a bit. Very pretty spot. We're at Silver Lake Park and Beach. Hey, this is the trailhead for the Croton Gorge Trail. It's down that way. Let's go down and check out the water. Now this is Silver Lake. Silver Lake Beach, I should say. It's like they chucked in some nice white sand. Some facilities. Oh, I see there's an old dam here. It probably used to be, I know just downriver there was an iron works, and on Croton Point there was a brick works. So there was probably some kind of industrial stuff here. Where I left off, I'd be down that river a bit. Very pretty spot. Got one swimmer left. Hi everybody. Today we're here at the Croton Dam, looking at a beautiful waterfall. It's late September, a perfect day. Temperatures in the mid-70s, very dry, and look at all that water, man. I better pay attention in this kind of water. So right now we're heading back to Croton Harmon train station and get back in our car. We've seen enough of paradise here in Westchester County. There's some beautiful little rapids. Now the plan is to very slowly coast down the river with the current. I know that there's a bit of tide coming in right now, so it might not be a lot of forward momentum, so I may have to do some paddling. It's one of my favorite parts about kayaking, especially kayaking rivers. You put up a little bit of work up front, you get yourself upriver, you see some beautiful things, and then you can sit back and enjoy the view and a relatively easy ride home. Now if I'm quiet, keep my camera ready, hopefully I get a few shots of some wild birds, maybe some other animals too. Yeah, current's taking us downriver pretty fast. It shouldn't take long to get back to the car. I'm just gonna enjoy my tea. You know, tea made in paradise. It's good stuff. Just letting the current take me downstream. That's Paradise Island on the right. It's a county park. It's on the map. I tried to go around Paradise Island from the upriver side and it was too shallow. So I'm going to try to do it from the downriver side now, see what happens. Even more beautiful than the other side, and there's less current. I'm seeing bottom, but there's plenty of water. So we discovered that you can go all the way around the island except for that one shallow spot right at the junction where the rapids were, where that young couple are hanging out. I decided to turn around and not bother them. Thank you everybody for coming along, keeping me company. Today we are paddling on the Croton River with our kayak, looking for natural beauty, and we found it. That's Paradise Island. That's a county park in Westchester. It's a beautiful spot. Starting to hear the traffic noise from the bridge. We're getting close. We're almost to the end of our paddle. The ramp is right over there. The water seems absolutely placid. We must be coming up on high tide now. There was a lot more current on the way in. I was afraid that I was going to wind up having to battle current at this point. But right out the other side of that train trestle is the Hudson River. It doesn't look like I can make it underneath anymore. The tide's definitely coming quite a bit since we got here. It's been a while. Right now it's 3 o'clock. We got started a little after 12, so you know the tide changes pretty fast up here. Alright, last little bit of paddling. We're going to get close to this natural side over here, see if we can see anything. do enjoy a nice train. Something about that sound. I grew up not far from a train track. I find it soothing. Now you see, if I had put in at Croton Point Park, I would have been able to paddle underneath this train trestle, but when I came back I would have found this. I don't want to go under there now. I'd probably just make it if I laid down in the bottom of the boat, but that's nothing I look forward to doing. And when it gets to full high tide, there's just no doing it, so you'd be stuck. Now, I put it over there at the launch ramp on this side, and I paid $5 to do it. And I suppose it was worth it. I could have parked for free at Croton Point Park and paddled underneath this trestle to do the river, but then I would have been worried about getting underneath this when I got back. So, like I said, I may just be able to make it through there if I was so inspired, but I am not. With my luck, a train would come through as I was underneath there and I'd have a heart attack. We're not doing that. Otherwise, it was a perfect ride. A beautiful day on the river. If you're ever passing through Westchester near Croton on the Hudson, pull off. Park for a little while. Come take a walk down by the river. It's beautiful. I'm heading over to the launch ramp. I want to get out. Get back in my car. It's going to start getting buggy here real soon. It already is kind of.